Hey guys, welcome back here to Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel today to check the video out. Got a sort of an unusual video today. I want to share a story with you guys that I just found out about recently about a Bassmaster Open angler that was just recently disqualified and banned for life for allegedly putting a tracking device in another competitor's boat. And I'm going to go over that in today's video and offer some commentary on that, and definitely looking forward to getting your guys' feedback on that as well. Also, guys, thank you very much, man. Just a quick thank you from me and my family for everybody that's taken time to hit that subscribe button here at Intuitive Angling and all of my other YouTube channels. You know, right now we only got like 30% of the people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you want a free and easy way to help the channel out, if you're inclined to do so, hitting that subscribe button, hitting the like button, joining up as a channel member, hyping the videos, using all those links that I put in my video descriptions. Those are all great ways to support the channel, and thank you very much for everybody that's been taking advantage of that. Really appreciate that. Okay, I just saw this here recently. A Bassmaster Open angler named Yumin Gayo. Now, forgive me if I pronounce that wrong. A Japanese angler, Yumin Gayo, that's the best pronunciation I can come up with it, was recently banned for life from Bassmaster events for allegedly, that, you know, nothing has been proven, but allegedly putting what I guess is called some type of an AirPod tracking device in another open angler's boat during practice in the competition, you know, speculatively to find out where this angler has been fishing at. And once they found out about this resulted in a lifetime ban from the Bassmaster tournaments. I've never heard anything like this before. This is an absolute first. Most of the disqualifications, the serious disqualifications that we've had in bass fishing tournaments have been, people tying out fish, or people, figuring out devices to put fish in, to take them out of boxes and stuff like that later on. But I think this is the first one that I've ever heard that another angler has tried to track an angler. So, yeah, that is pretty serious violation, because, you got somebody that's worked their butt off to find fish in practice, and some other angler is going to try to take advantage of that. That is a blatant, if that was true, like I said, it's been alleged, but if that was true, that is a blatant violation that definitely deserves a serious punishment. Now, what I want to talk about in this video, I wanted to bring that to light too, because I like to try to keep everybody abreast of everything that's happening in the tournaments. I want to speak a little bit more to this whole thing about disqualification and banning people from tournaments. First of all, let's get one thing clear. Breaking a rule in a tournament is not cheating. And the one thing that really pisses me off more than anything else is if somebody just unintentionally breaks a rule through oversight and just not remembering all that type of stuff. It happens all the time. They get labeled by some knuckleheads out there as cheaters, which is bullshit. That is not cheating. A rule violation is not cheating. It's the same like in golf, in professional golf. If you accidentally touch your ball with the club head, there's a penalty with that. You're not disqualified from the event, but there's, I guess in some situations there would be, but it's usually a stroke penalty or something like that. But it's not cheating. It's an unintentional violation. So 95% or more of the what is called, scandals, cheating scandals or disqualification scandals in Bassmaster and MLF and any tournament out there are just honest oversights that people make. It's like, they may not have read a rule or something, or they forgot about a rule, or they overlooked a rule, or say, for example, they were fishing in an area that was marked off limits, but they didn't see it because a tree limb impeded their view. Or they may have went, too fast through a no-wake area that they didn't see a no-wake sign. Just honest mistakes like that people get labeled as cheaters at. And that is not cheating in a tournament. And I think one of the things that I have seen in bass tournaments is for the most part, the rule violations do not fit the punishment. A lot of times these rule violations are met with way too harsh of punishments, and sometimes rule violations are met with just a slap on the wrist. So a lot of it is a case-by-case basis, and I think that we all want to see just something that is fair. Now, here's the thing about it. Let's say, for example, you you're in a tournament out there and you're fishing and you're catching some fish, and you're all excited about it, and you get ready to go to your next spot. Maybe you just put your limit of fish in the boat or something like that, and you forgot to put your life jacket on. So according to the rules, that you're subject to disqualification. I know all the rules they have the right to interpret the penalty on that, but somebody that makes an honest mistake like that, just forgetting to put their life jacket on, should not be met with a disqualification. Give them a $200 fine, something like that. That was not intentional. That was just an oversight that they forgot. Same with the rule. If they read a rule wrong, or if they forgot about a rule, or somebody told them something and they didn't hear about it, give them a $200 or $300 or $400 fine. Don't disqualify them from the tournament, because here's what you have. Let's say, for example, you got a tournament that you're going to, and you've taken off work and you've practiced, you've pre-practiced, you've spent a lot of money, you've spent all these blood, sweat, and tears. You go to the tournament, you practice your butt off from daylight till dark for 3 days, and then you go out there and you have some type of an honest rule violation, just an honest mistake that you make. It's complete crap, in my opinion, for a tournament director to disqualify that person, put this stigma on them, throw them, behind a rock and a hard ball, simply because they made an oversight. Like I said, give them a fine, man. Just give them a $500 fine or something for that, and just call it good. But to try to undermine somebody's livelihood and career personally just for making an oversight, that's not right. Now, on the other hand of the situation, when you have blatant rule violations that are cheating, cut and dried cheating, like the walleye guys that were stuffing lead weights down the fish, or we've all heard of that, one dude that fished MLF for years, that he was putting bass in a big Tupperware, like those big containers, like those tubs you get at Walmart, and he was cutting a hole in the top of them and pitching his bait down in the hole, and he had 10 bass in there that he caught in a farm pond or something like that, that stuff like that is just blatant cheating. Or like this guy that intentionally put a tracking device, this Japanese angler put the tracking device in another angler's boat. Those are blatant cheating violations that should be met with severe penalties. But I just think that we need a little bit more common sense way of thinking when it comes to how we're treating rule violations and disqualifications, because it has an everlasting impact on people. Guys, I know of a half a dozen bass pros out there that are stand-up, exemplary human beings. They're the greatest dudes in the world. They wouldn't cheat in a million years, and they've had honest rule violations and they've been disqualified for that. And then, like I said, all these freaking weenies out there that are in their mommy's basement, they jump on this bandwagon and start calling them cheaters for an honest rule violation. This is the problem that we have in the rules and tournaments. We need common sense rules. We need the violation. We need the penalty to meet the violation. We don't need excessive penalties. We need fair penalties all the way across, but we don't need to be undermining anglers' careers for making a simple, honest oversight mistake. So, guys, let me know what you think about it. We'll talk later.